Hello, people, and welcome to Nanya. And quickly, let me show you that I have... What? Where'd it go? Oh, right, it's on here. This level. I have an enchanting table, and I did, I used a ton of levels of enchanting, and I got a bunch of picks, and what I did was I used up all of the other low ones doing mining and stuff. You can see I have a lot of good stuff here now. But I combined a bunch of them and got an efficiency 4, unbreaking 3, fortune 1, iron pick. What is that? That's 1 and 1. So that's like, what, 4 efficiency picks and 4 unbreaking picks or something like that. Anyway, I did a bunch of level 1 through 10 enchants type thing. It worked out wonderfully, and now I have run into a problem where, you know, I don't feel like I should constantly be slaughtering cows for food. I feel like that's rude and slightly racist to target them out as my solo food source and only consume the flesh of steak. So we did just recently get potatoes from what am I doing? Right, okay. We did just recently get potatoes from potatoes from that village we happened upon. So I think it would be fantastic. Okay, there we go. Just rearranging my sitting position there. I was like sitting on both my legs. And you know, when you're sitting on both of your legs and you're slowly starting to lose the circulation and your legs start screaming to you. Yeah, that's what was happening. Anyway, like I was saying, I think it would be cool if we built like a what are they called? Like a hanging garden, a floating garden. I don't know, some sort of garden in the sky, like, you know, Transformers, robots in disguise. So let me get a ton of fences here, and I don't know why that's going to give me 3 stacks. That seems reasonable enough. Okay, those are going to be like my base block. I'm going to need a bunch of birch, and we're going to start building a platform. I should probably make a crafting table as well to bring with me. I'd hate to ruin the perfect birch stackage I have, so I'm just going to use some oak, get myself a crafting table. That's glorious. And you know, I think it would be nice just to kind of build this probably right up here. Let's see here. My mine shaft goes down and this way. So we want the farm to be close to the mine where I spend most of my time, so that way it stays loaded a reasonable amount of time, or else, you know, I'm just going to have to be sitting around and waiting for it to grow things, and, you know, that's no fun at all. And actually, my mine's getting really far away from here. It's a gorgeous shaft I have made, but, you know, I don't like to brag, but it's pretty sweet. I just get that pick or not pick, it's an axe. Take the pick off the axe, and you're just left with a wood chopping utensil. I wonder... So there's an axe and there's a pickaxe. I wonder what the relation is. Like, clearly the creation of these two things and their similar nameage could not have been a coincidence. So I wonder where along the line the pick got added onto an axe and someone was like, okay, so this utensil chops wood, right? And this one chops stone. So if you're just axing wood, then clearly you're picking stone. Yeah, that makes sense. And I'd like to be there for how that conversation was had, and as to why that decision was made, that throwing pick on something suddenly makes it stone related instead of wood related. So if I said, like, I have like a pick log, would that be like a stone log instead of a wood log? Or if I had a pick front door, is that is that a wooden front door? Like, why did pick all those years ago get associated with wood? And I think that's one of those great questions in life we'll never actually know the answer to. Up there with why do we like boogers so much, and why do children just lick them up like they're candy, and why can't I believe it's not better? That's another one of those great questions in life we're always pondering. But someday we'll have those answers. But that day's not today, unfortunately. In fact, today's Friday. I actually have no idea what day you're watching this, but today is Friday, and Friday is not the day to discover these truths. That's for Thursdays or Wednesdays, but never Mondays or Fridays, because those are the days you're either working hard or hardly working. So those 2 days those are out of the picture. In the light riding, that massive mountain looks like it was just covered in lava, and that made me terrified. I really don't feel like chopping down more birch trees, so I feel like if I create a bunch of half slabs, this whole process will go a little easier and use half as much wood, and I'll have twice as much birch to make this work and not look absolutely terrible. Oh, this also really isn't a hanging garden. This is more of a garden on stilts, and I don't know how that happened. I came out here with a hanging garden envisioned in my head, and I ended up with a stilt garden instead. And sometimes these things happen in life, and I've just learned that if you accept them, they'll be fantastic to you. And I'm all out of goodness, and that's not the goodness I wanted in my life. There we go. 36 more. That should be pretty close to enough to get it. I can't believe it's not bircher. It feels fantastic when you actually grabbed the right amount of a material for a change instead of having to run back and get more of something. It's just, it's a nice change of pace, and I'm also out of bread, and this is why I need to be doing this, because my lord, I don't know why I came back. Oh yeah, I was checking if I had any more spruce, or not spruce, birch, and it looks like I don't. And I am going to need to create an infinite water source up here. I'm going to need to get more birch. I'm the birch's birch, actually. They say that my milkshakes bring all the birches to the yard. And I'd like to think that's true, because I only use the highest quality dairy products in my milkshakes, and the birches really appreciate when you use high quality products in the milkshakes you produce. And I'd like to think everyone is out there looking for quality. So if you want your milkshakes to bring anyone to the yard, I mean, that might also include birches. Just make sure you're using high quality products. Don't use any of that fake stuff. And I'm sure people will see what a stand-up person you are, and see that you don't sacrifice anything. You always go for gold. You always use the good stuff, and that really shows up in the type of dairy products you use to make your milkshakes. And that is why milkshakes can bring people to the yard, because they appreciate someone who appreciates quality. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm very low on hunger now, and I'm starting to rethink that running around all the time when I was low on food is probably not the best choice I've made today. It probably ranks pretty low on the list of things. Watching Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball 13 times in a row is probably the only thing that ranks lower than that. And sometimes you just have to realize that you don't know what you're doing, and then YouTube pops up and says, hey, you should also watch this video, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'll watch this video, and then you end up with What the Fox Said stuck in your head, and you eternally hate that song. And then every time someone brings it up, you're like, you know what the fox said? Nothing, because it got thrown into a fiery asphalt pit where it belonged, because that song, OMG. You know, I was complaining about not having anything to eat, and yet I have this whole glorious field of unharvested wheat fully grown sitting here, and sometimes I wonder how I ever survive in life, because how did I not think to harvest this and turn this into bread, even though bread is actually what I was eating, and I was complaining about my steaks being my only source of food. And you know what? Sometimes people say things to me, and they don't always mean them. And when they don't mean them, it's called fiction, and sometimes things are stranger than fiction, and when they are, Leonardo DiCaprio becomes a watch that saves your life because a crazy author tried to kill you in her book, like she does everyone, because it's a proper Shakespearean tragedy, and then you realize there's some more important things to life than your Leonardo DiCaprio watch, like Snuggies, or those pillow pet thingies. Those are adorable. How could you not love those? Welcome back, everyone! I was haphazardly building while things were going on around me that prevented me from recording, and basically this thing got done, and mostly, and now it's a hazard zone. Delinquents, they're coming down, they're taking over the underground of this beautiful monument to growery, and we can't have that, because that's just rude, and there's a lot of effort that went into this. Also, I don't have that many potatoes, but that's fine. Beggars can't be potatoes. So I was thinking we would turn this into an underground park type thing, and, you know, clean the neighborhood up a bit, prevent baddies from coming in here and doing bad things. So somehow I was thinking we would turn this into a nice little area for sheep to come, and they can enjoy themselves. And I was considering making it the Gregory Monument Park, but I say we have some more glorious plans for Gregory. We actually built him a massive monument and not just a little park, but that will come later, if that's going to be enough. And I just did a weird hiccup. That was more of like a, it was more like a gasp up. Like when you gasp, hiccup. Is that a gas up? Is that a thing? Let's just sit here and admire nature. It's freaking beautiful. It's also dripping.